guys, my name is Becca. Welcome back. I am here with another recent reads and currently reading video for the week. It's the end of Fantasyathon, and I guess this is going to be my Fantasyathon wrap up. All the books here were read for Fantasyathon, and I figured this is a good time to do my wrap up for it, as well as do my recent reads and currently reading. So let's jump into the books that I read for the week. This is significantly better than last week. Last week I was currently reading East by Edith Patow. I have no idea. This is a retelling of East of the Sun, West of the Moon. I knew it was. I couldn't remember the fairy tale for it, but I just knew that this was a retelling of that fairy tale. And I've read another, I cannot remember the name. I read another retelling of it a very long time ago. I can't remember the name of it. It was by Jessica Day George, and I read it in high school, and I really enjoyed it. This follows a girl named Rose. She's the youngest of her family. Her family are farmers, and they are coming into hard times. Her sister is really sick, and they're about to lose their farm when this white bear appears and announces that he will heal her sister and bring her family wealth and prosperity again, as long as Rose comes with him and lives with him for the foreseeable future. The white bear has been cursed by the Troll Queen. He used to be this boy, and then he was cursed to be a white bear. It wasn't the Troll Queen that cursed him. It was her father, technically, but it is her fault he was cursed, and the white bear needs Rose to help him break this curse, though she does not know that. And you don't really know that until a little later, though, unless you've actually read the fairy tale or another retelling, you would know it. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it definitely more in the beginning than I did in the end, which is hilarious because I felt like the end brought all this, like, of course the end brought everything together. But I really enjoyed the beginning because it read so much like a fairy tale, and I just really liked the writing, and I really liked the characters. But I feel like towards, like, halfway towards the end, I just started losing interest somewhat. I think, I don't know what it was. It could have been that I was reading so much at once, and that everything was just, like, my feelings for others were, my feelings for other books might have, encouraged my feelings for this. I don't know. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. I really loved the fairy tale-esque writing. I love the characters. I love the plot line. I really did. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like towards the end, I just really wasn't caring as much about anything that was going on. I already knew most of the stuff that was going to happen. I did really enjoy it, though. It wasn't anything special. I've read retelling of this before. I've read the fairy tale before. It's pretty much the same, in my opinion. And yeah, it was really well done, but a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then we have A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer. I was also reading this last week. And this is a modern day retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's a little bit different from Beauty and the Beast. The Beast isn't a beast all the time, or the prince isn't a beast all the time, like in the original fairy tale or in any adaptation you've seen. Prince Ren, our beast, is only a beast a little bit of the time, which is cool. And then he can turn into different kinds of beasts every time he turns into one, which is actually really cool. Also, he's stuck in a time loop, so he'll relive his 18th birthday over and over and over again, or that season of his 18th birthday over and over and over again. And it's actually like really well done. I thought that was a really nice twist to the original fairy tale. So you follow Harper, who lives in the modern day world, and she sees this guy taking this woman away and like leading her to this, just leading her away, and she follows them because she knows he's up to no good, and she follows them. She stops him, but instead she ends up getting taken through the portal with this guy, and they're taken to Emberfall, where Prince Ren lives, and that's where the whole Beauty and the Beast starts. Prince Ren needs Harper to break the curse. He's gone through this curse over and over and over again. Every time he turns into a beast, every time he turns into a creature, he hurts and kills more, and he's trying to save his people. He's trying to save anyone who's left. He's killed his entire family, which was very, very sad. And the only one he has left who stays at the castle with him is Gray, one of the soldiers, who is now like a commander, but yeah. Harper wants nothing to do with this. She wants to go home. Her mother is dying of cancer, and her brother needs her. They're struggling to survive, and they owe this really... Her father owed this really bad debt, and her and her brother have been trying to pay it back, and she knows her brother's gonna need her really bad, and so she wants nothing to do with this curse. And she wants nothing to do with any of them, and so she's really trying hard to leave, and there's no way to go home until the season breaks, and it's the next season. Though, here's the new twist: this is the final season. The Enchantress Lilith, well, she's tired of waiting for this, for everything to happen, and she wants to make Ren suffer as much as she can. So yeah, she's like, surprise, this is the final season. If you don't break the curse now, well, it's over. So that was really, really good. I really love Harper. She doesn't really care much about trying to break this curse. There's no way she's gonna fall in love with this guy. She wants nothing to do with him. But she starts to develop friendship with them, and she's like, look, I understand. I'll help you, save your people, because not only is this curse hurting the kingdom, well, there's also another kingdom that wants to take over. And this queen is sending her people to pillage and, yeah, just take over this kingdom. It was insane. So Harper is pretending to be a princess and pretending that there's going to be this entire army coming, and she is determined to help Ren save this kingdom, whether or not they break the curse or not. I enjoyed this a lot. There were definitely moments that dragged. I definitely felt that. But I really enjoyed this. The ending, there was another plot twist. I did kind of see it coming. The very, very end. I saw it coming just because I'm like, who else could it be? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Though I didn't really care for the very end. It's like, did we really need that? And I don't understand the motives of this character at all, but I still really enjoyed it. I am really looking forward to the sequel. I really loved Harper, and I liked that she was strong-willed, and Harper, which was really fascinating, has cerebral palsy, and, people see her as weak, and she will do anything that she can do. And she's determined to not let her weakness define her or hold her back. And I just really loved her character. There were moments that I felt like she was really stupid. There were moments I felt like Ren was kind of a dick. but I really loved all my characters. Otherwise, especially when you get to meet the brother, there's also a little bit of queer love in this, which I love. There's a little bit of gay love. I just love it so much. But yeah, I did really enjoy this. I give it 4 stars. I am really looking forward to the sequel, and we'll see what happens now with this new plot line for the sequel. Okay, next up, we have a book that I wasn't reading last week. It came out the day that I filmed that video, and that is Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This is the first book in the Eldest Curses series. I don't know how many books are going to be in it. I think it's a trilogy. Pretty sure it's a trilogy. This follows Magnus Bane and Alec Lightwood after the events of City of Glass, while they're on vacation in Europe, and they're determined to just enjoy their vacation, to have, you know, a good time together, because their relationship is still pretty new. Because this is after City of Glass, oh my god. And they're really determined to have a good time together. But while in Paris, they find out Magnus Bane is being accused of founding this cult that is just wreaking havoc in Europe. And they're summoning demons and stuff like that. And this isn't good. This isn't good at all. And Magnus Bane has no memory of this. He has no memory of founding this cult. And he's determined to figure out, you know, what is going on with his memory. They're just trying to clear his name and determine whether or not he actually did do what they're saying he did. And yeah, it's all Alec Lightwood and Magnus Bane together. And I just love it. And there are definitely some moments where, like, they falter, where, you know, they're struggling with whether or not they're good together or anything like that. Again, it's in the very beginning stages of the relationship. But it's just them, you know, coming together and clearing Magnus's name and traveling through the downworld in Europe. And it's just beautiful, and I love this book so much. Again, there are moments where I felt it dragged just a little bit. But I don't care. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars anyway. It's Magnus and Alec. And I love it so much. Also, what I really, really loved about this book. Okay, so if you've read the novella from the Ghost of the Shadow Market that follows Alec, the Land I Lost, is that what it's called, I think? That one has scenes that reference scenes in this, which I really loved, because I was so lost. I was like, I don't remember that at all, and I was just like, what's going on? What are you talking about? The Orient Express? When did that happen? And I'm like, wait, Europe? When did that happen? Wait, there's a whole chunk of time that we missed, and it's all in here. It's all in here, and you see it, and it's just so good. You see those characters that were from that. I just want to go back and listen to The Land I Lost again, or read it, because now I have the reference. Now I know what it's about, and I could enjoy that even more. Even though I gave that 5 out of 5 stars, I will enjoy it immensely more now that I know everything about it. And I just love this so much. We are going to have a sequel. Of course, it's going to be a trilogy. That one is, I mean, I know where the plot line's going to go, but I don't know really at all what's going to happen. But, yeah, I'm still really, really excited. The ending of this was so good. I just loved it. I love this so much. This is definitely one of my favorites in the series. Pretty much because it's Magnus and Alec, and how can I not love Matt and Alec? It's so good. I love this book, and I need the sequel in my hands right now, though I have to wait a whole nother year for it. But believe me, I'll definitely be rereading this quite a few times, because that is a favorite of mine now. Okay, 2 more books that I have read or finished. First up is Song of the Dead by Sarah Glenn Marsh. This is the sequel slash conclusion to Reign of the Fallen by this author. This is only a duology. And Reign of the Fallen follows Odessa, who's a bisexual main character. She is a necromancer, and she raises noble people from the dead. And it's all about them trying to stop whoever is turning the dead into shades, which are these really horrible monsters that just wreak havoc. And yeah, it was fantastic. I loved Reign of the Fallen so much. Song of the Dead. Okay, so everything came to an end in Reign of the Fallen. This follows Odessa, who is in the very beginning, she's traveling to these different lands, learning about these different people and different cultures, and like literally not that much in, she gets summoned back home to Carthia, the kingdom that she lives in, and Carthia is being attacked, and she needs to figure out who is attacking and why. The dead are no longer among the living in Carthia anymore after what happened in the first book. And it's just, they're just trying to figure out how people are going to coexist with all these new changes, because Carthia is changing so much. So the people are changing, and people are not happy as much with all the changes. So they're definitely being attacked from inside, but they don't know exactly who their enemies are. And the ones they do know, well, they're struggling to stop them. I really do love this cast of characters. I do. I did not love the plot for this. I love the plot for the first one, but this one I just thought fell short for me. In the very beginning, we go to this land that has dragons, which I really liked, and Odessa, our main character, takes home a baby dragon. I love that. That was great. I love that the female-female relationship that you just got like a hint of in the first book, it just comes to fruition in this. It's more prominent in this, and I really love that. So much queerness in this, guys. There is so much gay love. There is our female-female relationship, our male-male relationship. We have a character that has two aunts, or a character that has two mothers, a character that has two uncles. At the very end, we have another female-female relationship. There's just so much, and I love it. I really do. But I just feel like we got like so many new characters in this, and I just didn't understand the reasoning for it. None of these characters really did a damn thing. Two of the freaking characters that like we meet in like the beginning or towards the middle did anything. The other ones just were talked about or were there for no freaking reason, I thought. And I'm just like, what was the point of giving you these characters and just like not having them in this at all, really? And I don't know. That's just me. That's my opinion. I just felt like there was so much unneeded characters. There was so much unneeded drama. The female-female relationship that I love in this, that I was like, yes, we're going to get so much of, definitely had a lot of drama. And I just didn't feel the need for it, because we had that drama in the first part. And it was just, okay, the first book gave you the drama. Now we're finally getting into the relationship. They're finally, coming together, and it's great. And then it's like, here's more drama on top of drama, and it's just, I don't need it. And I'm sorry, but towards the end, I just didn't feel like I really cared about this relationship anymore. I was just like, okay, now I'm really hating this character. I still love Odessa, my main character. I still think she's great. But, like, a lot of the other characters, I was like, I don't care about you anymore. And I feel like a lot of the new characters, like I mentioned, that were just unneeded, I didn't have enough time with, so I didn't establish any type of, I didn't care about them at all, really. And if anything happened to them, I was just like, oh, well, okay. and I just feel like this fell short for me. I hate that because I loved Reign of the Fallen so much. I gave that like a 4.5 out of 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really love that book, but I just don't feel like this conclusion really mattered. And I hate that because there are aspects of this I really liked, but there are just so much of it that I didn't. And I gave this 2.5 out of 5 stars. That was hard. Okay, the last book that I've read, that I finished, oh man, and that is Part of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. We're already 20 minutes in, and I feel like I could probably talk for 20 minutes of this book. Okay, so this follows, oh god. So like I said when I first got it, this is about a queendom in the West, there's dragons in this book, and there's a female-female relationship. It's really all I knew about it going in. It's really how I feel like all you should know about it going in. But, so we have, the West that has the queendom, and they have their religion. They do not like, oh my god, how do I say about this? So, I knew exactly how I wanted to talk about this, and now I'm just struggling to find words. So, again, we have our queendom in the West, Innis. We follow Queen Sabran there, who, is like the last of this royal line, that is meant to hold back the Nameless One, which is this, like, really awful dragon, or what they call worm. And he is this ancient 1,000-year-old dragon that just wreaked chaos 1,000 years ago and was banished and stopped, but he was only driven under and put to sleep, though 1,000 years later he is meant to awaken. Guess what? 1,000 years is up. Sabran and her line and her religion, her people, all believe that as long as you keep the line going, the Nameless One will sleep and will be held back. Hey, guess what? 1,000 years is almost up, and I don't think it really matters. We have characters in the East that have dragons there, though they are water dragons, and the ones that they fear in the West, they fear everywhere, but are more prominent in the West, are fire. So the water dragons are the good dragons, but the West doesn't see that, so they just don't communicate, they don't trade, they just, yeah. The West hates the East, and the East hates the West. It's just like that. Oh my god, we have the South that believes this whole other religion, or it's the same, okay, it's the same, like, story that base both the religion in the West and the religion in the South, but they have this different version. We follow Eid, who is protecting Sabran, but she is, like, disguised as, she pretends to follow Virtuedom, which is this religion in the West, though she is from the South, and she follows the religion there, and that believes the other version of events that happened. So yeah, and then that's pretty it. And I think it's the North where the Nameless One lives. And his, like, children, or whatever they are awakening and wreaking havoc all over, waiting for this big beast to awaken and just swallow everybody whole, pretty much. So we follow Eid in the West, who is protecting Sabran. She has magic, she's a mage, and she's from this, like, cult of people that worship the mother, who is, you know, someone of both of the religions that they believe in. I'm not talking about this well, and I know that. This is just something that's so difficult to talk about, like, to actually synopses. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. A world divided, a queendom without an heir, an ancient enemy awakens. Okay, that's the basis of the story. The house of Berethna, which is Sabran's house, has ruled Innis for 1,000 years. Still unwed, Queen Sabran the Ninth must conceive a daughter to protect her realm from destruction, but assassins are getting closer to the door, which is where Eid comes in. Eid Durdian is an outsider at court, though she has risen to the position of lady-in-waiting. She is loyal to a hidden society of mages, which is that cult of people. Eid keeps a watchful eye on Sabran, secretly protecting her with forbidden magic. Yeah, magic is no good in the West, though Eid has it, and she's pretty powerful. Across the Dark Sea in the East, Tane, I don't even know how to say her name, has trained all her life to be a dragon rider, but is forced to make a choice that could see her life unravel. Meanwhile, the divided East and West refuse to parley, and forces of chaos are rising from their sleep. Okay, is that much better? Because I feel like that was a lot much better than what I said. But yeah, we have Tane in the East, we have Eid in the West, we have Niklas, who's another freaking character we follow, we have Loth, who's another character we follow. There's just so many characters we're following in this, and it's all supposed to come together, which it does. But I didn't care for some of these characters. Like, I didn't care for Tane much. Okay, the only character I really cared about was Eid. That was it. I liked that she had magic. I liked that she is the one who goes into this female-female relationship. So, I liked that, I liked the fact that the religion that Sabran and her people have, and then Eid and her people have, are totally different, but based on the same version, like same story of events, but just different versions that created their religions. And I liked that part. I liked learning all about that and learning all about the past. There's so much history based in this, history of their worlds, that is what brings you to now, and it was really well done. I really enjoyed that. But because I didn't care for a lot of the characters, there was a lot of plot lines I didn't care for, and I just felt like it dragged a lot. And if it wasn't for the Eid chapters, I probably would have DNF'd this by now. But I finished it. I actually finished it. And damn, did it take me forever. This is 800 pages. I mean, this is huge. And I gave it like 3 stars. I feel really bad. I did enjoy most, some things. I did enjoy most things, but there was just a lot of it. I was just like, okay, yeah, can we just move on now? I'm not really caring for this. There were revelations that was made that I thought was pretty good, but I just, yeah, I really wanted to enjoy this more. I know so many people giving it like 5 out of 5 stars. It's like their favorite book of the year. This just wasn't mine. Okay, I'm giving it like a 3.5. I do feel like it was well done, but I just feel like it dragged for me. Even though there's a lot of action going on in some parts, there's a lot of it that I didn't care about. And I just, yeah. There is, again, the female-female relationship that was really good. There's a male-male relationship that was talked about in this, which I enjoyed learning about. But again, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I wanted to love this more. I just didn't, and I don't know if I'd ever reread it, because it's dense and it's huge, and like I can read an 800 or 900 page book. I can read an 1,000 page book, but if I'm not enjoying it, or I'm not really caring about what's going on, I don't want to pick it up. And I felt like there were a lot of times I was forcing myself to pick it up because I was forcing myself to finish it before now. Because I wanted to finish this for Fantasyathon. And I did. I was able to finish all of these for Fantasyathon. But how much of it was my enjoyment keeping me going and how much of it was me forcing myself to keep going is what I'm saying. Okay, so I still have a lot to talk about, and we're already 30 minutes in. I hate that. But let's just quickly go over what these meant for Fantasyathon. So Fantasyathon, the first challenge was to read a diverse fantasy. I mean, queer love everywhere in this. Queer love everywhere in this. We also have Magnus, who is, oh, he's Asian descent, but I can't remember where he's from. Why am I having a hard time remembering things? Shoot, but I know he's Asian descent. I just can't remember now where he's from. Crap. Also, there's gay relationships. There's a gay relationship. Yeah, a lot of diversity. A debut fantasy or backlist title. I mean, backlist meaning 2018 or before, right? Well, this one actually. 2003, 2005, I mean, yeah, this is perfect. I'm going with East for that. Start a new series or continue on. Started a new series. Started a new series. Started a new series. Continued on. Well, concluded, but still the continuation. A hype train fantasy. Part of the Orange Tree was definitely a hype train, and so was my baby, The Red Scrolls of Magic. It was definitely a hype train, and so was The Curse of Dark and Lonely. Yeah. Pick up when you started and put down. It was definitely A Curse of Dark and Lonely. A genre or format you don't normally read. I'm going with adult fantasy, like epic, high adult fantasy. Yeah, high fantasy. Yeah, this, that. I do read it, but I don't like gravitate to pick it up like right away. I normally wait a really long time before I actually pick it up because I get very intimidated because it's just the density of it. And then treat yourself and immerse yourself in the world, which is pretty much like, you know, have a bath, just relax, that kind of thing. Really, I just spent a lot of time reading this. And this was really a treat to myself because I wanted this so badly, and I just blocked out the world, you know, no social media, no nothing, and I just sat down and I read like the last like 200 pages to just immerse myself and love this, and it just, this worked perfectly. But yeah, that was Fantasyathon. Okay, so I completed all the challenges, completed all the books. I mean, shoot, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I read 5 books this week, which was a lot. So for currently reading, I'm still currently reading Dark Bites. I'm not actually reading this at the moment. I hope to be, but I still have to read the other books. And another, like, novella series or whatever. It's not in here, which I really hate. If you're gonna give me a short story collection, put them all together. That would be nice, please. So I'm still waiting to read those first before I can read that. And then I'm also going to be reading the other books in the main series, but yeah. And then one that I just picked up yesterday was Crown of Feathers by Nikki Paprito. This is about Phoenix Writers. I'm not really going to go into much detail about this. I'll talk more about this when I end. But we follow Phoenix Writers, and a girl who is determined to be a Phoenix Writer, but in order to do that, she needs to disguise herself as a boy. There's also multiple narrators, and this really beautiful story, like this 16 years ago kind of story that's kind of woven into this. But yeah, I really like this. I think it was 16. Yeah, pretty sure. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm 100 pages in, and I'm really loving it. I'm listening to it, so I was listening to it right before I started this video. Okay, so I'm not technically currently reading these, but these are the next ones I'm definitely going to be picking up soon. I want to pick up The Dream Hunter by Sherilyn Kenyon, because, again, I need to keep going on the main series, or I'm just never going to pick those up, because I'm still waiting to read more of the short stories, which... and then I really want to pick up Jack of Hearts and Other Parts by L.C. Rosen very soon, because Owls is still going. I still have like a couple more weeks of Owls, which all of these pretty much work for Owls as well. So I'm reading everything for Owls and Fantasyathon. It all worked out. It was great. And then I really want to pick up Connections in Death by J.D. Robb, which is the newest in Death book. So I'm going to read that. So yeah, the one book for Fantasyathon I did not pick up was A Torch Against the Night, which really, really sucked. But it was getting really late. I had like a few days left, and it was either start this one, which I knew I really wanted to start, and it worked for Owls, or start Torch Against the Night, and then worry about this later on in the week. And I was just like, I'm not going to have enough time to read Torch Against the Night, so I just decided to skip that one and just keep moving on with Owls, and since it worked well for Fantasyathon, it worked. So yeah, that is it. That is everything for today. It was a lot longer than the last time, and I'm sorry for that, but I had more to talk about. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again with another. Bye. Happy reading, guys.